It's really important that synth manufacturers keep updating their synths. There's always bugs to be squashed, and adding new features is a great way to support your existing customer base and reaching new potential customers. Not to mention just making the instrument a lot better. And with their long-awaited Matrixbrute 2.0 update, Arturia is stepping up their game for sure. The 2.0 update is massive. We can, for example, access settings directly from the unit, and we can create our own custom LFOs. We can draw them, and we have more custom modulation destinations. The sequencer is getting quite the major update, as well as our arpeggiator. And we also get a patch comparison function, so you can compare patches. So in this video we will focus on what I think are some of the most important changes for sound designers, namely the ability to draw your LFOs and having access to much more destinations to send modulations to. I'll also give you some practical examples of sounds that I made. So let's check it out. The first feature I want to show you is the custom LFOs. You can draw your own LFO. And yeah, just to show you here, this is really cool. You access it by pressing the two buttons here, and you can also just toggle through. So over here we can simply draw whatever shape we want. And you assign it just like you did before. Go to mod, select something. So let's say we want to affect the cutoff here. And we go to LFO number 1, select it, increase it. So what does this row down here do? Well, it smoothens out the curve. So if you listen. So when I turn all of them red, it's much smoother. We can still sync the oscillator to the BPM of the sequencer, but we can also hold this down and we can select over here different time signatures for the LFO. So we can basically get triplets and dotted as well for the LFOs, which is real cool. And as far as I know, it applies to the standard LFOs as well, not just the custom ones. And we can, of course, use LFO number 2 to affect something else, say the resonance. And we could use LFO number 1 to impact the rate of LFO number 2. The possibilities are quite incredible, and this is a huge thing. But let's move on to the second addition, which is also really important for sound design, and that is the increased number of custom destinations. So the way it works is if we select a new preset here and we go into mod, we have 4 different pages. So to assign something, you just go to 13 and you hold it down. So we assigned ladder drive. Now you might think, okay, how do I assign the other ones? Well, you just hold down the second one the third one, and the fourth one. And suddenly we've assigned 4 destinations to the first page, and to set up a modulation to the first one, press here, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and so on. But of course we want more, so we're going to the second page, and as you can see, it's empty. Hold down the first one, the second one, third one, and fourth one. Page number 3, hold the first one down, turn something, whatever you want, second one, and suddenly we have control over the filter envelope, and we still have modulation destinations to spare. And just to be clear, if I want to control the attack, I just go here, change the amount. If I want to control the decay, I simply go down here, select whatever I want to send to the decay or controlling the decay. If I want to control the sustain using an LFO like this, or envelope release using, say, another envelope. There we go. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about this demo sound. Sort of this wild and crazy bass patch. I'm not sure if it's very usable, but I wanted to create something with a lot of modulations just to show you what's possible. So we of course have custom LFOs that I created, and I'm taking advantage of the increased number of custom destinations. So let's do a little patch overview. I'm using the filter envelope here for both filters. I'm using the custom LFOs to both cutoff and resonance for both of the filters. And I'm also sending 2 oscillators, oscillator number 1 and 2, each to its own filter. So I have that set up on the first page. And on the second page, I'm using envelope number 3, and I think this should be pretty much the settings that I had for this patch, because I've been jumping back and forth between patches. And I'm using it to bring in some noise over time, so it has a pretty long attack and some delay to it. And I'm also using it to bring in VCO number 2's square level. So over here we have pulse width amount, but we don't have access to square wave level. So I've set that up over here. And on the third page, I'm doing some noise to VCF modulation using the audio mods. And I'm also sending LFO number 2 to the audio mod. So I'm using VCO number 1 to modulate VCO number 2. And on the fourth page, I'm doing aftertouch to LFO rate for both LFOs. So if I hold down a key and I press it hard, it speeds up the LFOs basically. So that's a lot of fun, and none of this would have been possible before they added all of these custom destinations, or the increased amount of custom destinations. So that's really cool and handy. So what do you think about this update to the Matrixbrute? Is this what you wanted? Does this make you excited about getting a Matrixbrute? For me personally, I think they've done a great job. I just wish they'd done it sooner. It's taking a little bit too long, I think. But overall, I'm really excited about this update. I bought the Matrixbrute a couple of years back and I've been very happy with it, but I've always wanted more destinations, custom destinations for modulations, because I sort of felt that the ones that were there, the set ones, yeah, didn't make much sense to me. They weren't the ones I wanted. And just having 4 was super limiting, especially if you wanted to start using, aftertouch for stuff. So I'm really happy about this addition, and of course, drawing your LFO is amazing fun too. So let me know what you think about the update in the comments section. Now, here's a little important service announcement. Hi, hello. This is an important service announcement about how you can help the channel. The videos and live streams do not magically appear. It's a lot of hard work. It's about a full-time job for me every single week. So if you feel like supporting what I do, go to Patreon. It's linked in the description. You can donate a small sum every month to keep the channel going and make it possible for me to make even more and better content. but I don't make any promises that I won't spend all the money on coffee. I mean, I won't, so support my coffee addiction, my synth videos over at patreon.com/Bobeats.